You are about to listen to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast, hosted by Craig Forrestal. Find Craig on Twitter at that_sports_guy. The That Sports Guys podcast is proudly featured by NFL Draft Diamonds, your draft coverage king. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some football talk.
Hello and welcome to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. I am Craig Forrestal. You may know me from Twitter as at that_sports_guy. But this evening it is all about Weber State Wildcats wide receiver and return specialist Rashid Shaheed. Rashid, what is going on?
How you doing, Craig? Nice to talk to you.
Likewise. And I want to get into so much about you and the dynamic player you are on the field, but I want to know about where it all started. San Diego, California. That's home for you. What's it like back there in San Diego?
Yes, sir. It's like a movie, you know. San Diego. It's always sunny, perfect weather, beautiful city. I think that's the best city that in America. So you can't miss coming here and living here.
And I want to ask you about something from last season. You ended up suffering an injury that cut your season short. Just how are you feeling now, and how was that whole physical therapy and rehab process for you?
Right. At first, it was tough when the injury happened. You know, there's always a lot of things going through your head when you get injured and your season might be in jeopardy. The rehab process, it was long and hard. It took a lot of fight and to get back to where I am right now. And I feel perfectly fine right now. My injury is perfectly fine, back to 100%, and I feel good. But you know, when it first happened, there was so many things going through my head, a lot of battles in my mind, and I felt like I handled it well, and I am where I am today, and I feel good about it.
And I want to draw back in time. I want to go back to your high school days, and you were an all-everything track athlete. You and your team qualified for the state championship meets as a sophomore, junior, and senior. And then in your senior year, you actually ran in the state finals of the 200 meters. Were you recruited heavily in track, or did any schools come at you for a football track combination?
So there were some schools that came at me with a football track combination, and Weber State was one of them. I've actually ran in a few track meets for Weber State, but coming out of high school, I knew that I wanted to play football. So whenever a coach or just anyone from a college that came to me talking about track, I let them know that football was my first option and that I was going to put football first no matter what. And the coaches, they respected it, but they also they wanted to have the 100% guy that just wanted to run track. So there wasn't too many offers. There was a bunch of letters and stuff, but not too many offers, just because the coaches knew that I was a football guy, and that's how I wanted to continue on with my career.
And once you got to the college level, you established yourself as an explosive player almost right away. You're a two-time All-American kick returner. You have 17 career touchdowns, 2 rushing, 11 receiving, and 4 kick returns. Just can you talk about your skill set, and what does it mean to be known as a player that can score from anywhere on the field anytime the ball touches his hands?
Right. Well, being a versatile player, it means a lot in football. You know, those are, I take a lot of pride in it. Being able to do all the stuff that I can do. You know, it just advances my game to the next level. And being a return man, that could also help my chances of making an NFL roster and all that stuff. You know, I like being able to change games. I like being able to make plays for my team in any possible way. And I'm glad that my skills are noticed throughout the country.
And while you've been with the Wildcats, you've had some really strong seasons, and you've made a couple of deep playoff runs. Just can you talk about the culture and the environment that Coach Jay Hill has established within the football team?
Right. Coach Hill, he's a great coach. He's such a team coach. He's always so energetic, and he brings so much passion, and you can't help but bring that onto the field as a player. You know, he always puts his guys in the best situation, and playing under Coach Hill has been a great experience. He preaches win, and that's what we do here at Weber State. We win, And ever since Coach Hill has been in Weber State, that's been the mindset, and we attack every day with the winning mindset, and that's how it's going to continue as long as he's coaching Weber State. And yeah, it's so much fun working under him, and it's just been a blessing.
Rashid, I want to ask you, what's more exciting for you, or what do you feel brings more excitement to the game, to the crowd? Is it when you score on a long 75-yard touchdown reception, or when you bust one for 100 yards on a kick return and take it to the house? Is that the more exciting play?
I would have to go with the kick return. I feel like it brings so much electricity on a kick return, a punt return touchdown. Special teams are such a big point of the game, and whenever a return is returned for a touchdown, I just feel like it brings that just extra juice that you need. It shifts momentum so much, and it just brings so much excitement on the sidelines, and the energy is just always high after that. So I would definitely have to go with that.
And I want to ask you, because you're coming off of an appearance in the FCS semifinals, and then you and the team were voted as the preseason favorites in the Big Sky Conference. Rashid, then the unfortunate decision came about that no fall football would take place this season. What was the general reaction from you and the rest of the guys on the team?
We were all very, very just hurt, and we didn't really know how to react to it. Honestly, it was all just you can really wrap your mind around not playing football this fall. It's something that we've never been part of, never seen, and it's been a hard adjustment to see that no football was played this fall. I mean, we'll see. There's still so many answers that need to be answered, but yeah, it's definitely tough, and we're trying to stick together as a team. Talk to our coaches. The coaches are doing a good job of keeping us updated of how they feel things are going to happen, or what might happen, or how workouts are going to be, or just anything. They're doing their best to stay on top of it. They're doing their very best. So we appreciate them for that. But without football, it's tough. It's very tough.
And one of those, I guess, alternatives is a spring season. And now, have you mentioned that you and the coaching staff have been in contact? Now, has the team been able to get together and put a plan in place as far as workouts or different things like that?
So since the season has been canceled, we haven't really been able to put together an exact plan of what we expect to happen, just because everything, like the facility, the weight room, is all shut down at the moment, and we're not exactly sure when that's going to be available back to us. And we're trying to figure out all this stuff as we go. But as far as the spring season, I hope that it does happen. I hope that everything comes into a whole and we're able to figure things out as a community, as a conference, as just football in America, just everything. I hope it all comes together and we're able to play this spring.
And Rashid, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions as it relates to stuff more so in the game, these next couple of questions. Now, do you have a certain route that you like to run against a certain look? For instance, do you really enjoy running the seam against the zone look?
Yeah, any type of vertical route is my favorite. Any type of play where I could get downfield and just run and get past the deep over top of the DBs. Those are my type of routes, and I try to take advantage of every chance that I get. So I would definitely say those type of routes are my favorite.
And I want to know, because DBs, they're just known for being trash talkers and just nonstop with the mouth all game long. And I want to know, do you give it back to them or do you stay silent?
I'm more of a quiet guy on the field. I might say something back a few times, maybe just joke around with them a little bit, but I don't like to talk too much. I just try to play. I try not to let them get in my head. They really never do, but DBs will talk. That's known from every wide receiver, any position group knows that DBs are the talkers. But me, I'm more of a quiet guy on the field. I just go play by play. The chirping stuff isn't really my thing. But if someone wants to chirp to me, that's fine. It's all good. I might say something back, but it happens.
And Rashid, what's something that you learned early on at the college level that you thought was going to be something minor, but it's ended up being something huge, whether it was a tip or a trick from a coach or an upperclassman?
Well, one time actually, my coach was able to get Stevie Johnson. He's a NFL veteran. He played for Buffalo. He's played for a few teams. He was able to come to a few practices for like a week, and he was able to talk to us, and we went over like film and breaking down routes and all the type of stuff. And he helped a lot. I learned a bunch of stuff from him, and being able to learn from an NFL veteran is always, it's very cool. And him being a receiver and a successful receiver, he just gave me so many tips, and I've been able to use them in games, and um, it's all worked out, and I was able to learn a lot from him, and I'm very thankful that he was able to share his information with me, and everything that he said, I tried my best to focus in on and put it to the field and all of that stuff. So that was definitely a cool experience.
And then Rashid, the final, I guess, on-field football-based question for us right now is, what is the key to being such a dynamic kick returner?
Right. I would say the key is, well, but besides the other 10 guys blocking for me, I got to give a lot of credit to them. They do a wonderful job of sacrificing their bodies and into making a play for me. So that's a big thing. But I would say vision and being able to elude people. In high school I was a running back, so it kind of comes a little more natural for me than maybe some other people. But yeah, I would say the vision and just being able to make one cut and just hit the hole and go. So that, I feel like those are the major things that you have to do to be a successful kickoff returner or punt returner.
All right, Rashid, now are you ready to get to the tough ones? You ready to get to the non-football questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the first one, what's your favorite ice cream topping?
My favorite ice cream topping would be any type of like chocolate drizzle. I love chocolate, and I feel like it sets off any type of ice cream. It's just I don't know, it's like the cherry on top pretty much without the cherry, But yeah.
What's that song that always gets you on the dance floor?
Well, for me, it's not one particular song. I would say, I have a pretty old soul. I like old school R&B and hip hop and all that type of stuff. So if the old school R&B song comes on, I'll definitely rush to the dance floor and show some moves. But yeah, that's my type of music.
And now, Rashid, what is your most used or your favorite app?
Probably Twitter. I love Twitter. Twitter is the best place. It's the best social media app. It's funny. You can learn so much. You can see so much. Interact with a whole bunch of people. I'm definitely a Twitter guy over Instagram or Snapchat or anything like that. I love Twitter.
And now, if you could live in any city in the world, where would it be?
Right where I am right now, sunny San Diego. I love it here. I never want to leave. I think it's really the best place in America. If you haven't been here, you gotta come. I can give you some places to visit, but yeah, San Diego is the place to be.
Absolutely, I'll definitely take you up on that offer. I've never been to San Diego. I've only been to California once in my life, so if I ever get back, I'll definitely make sure to hit San Diego.
Oh yeah, got to.
And now the final question for you tonight, Rashid, is what popular TV show or movie do you refuse to watch?
So popular TV show, I would have to go with. Geez, there's a lot. Okay, I'll go with the movie. Okay, scary movies. I don't do scary movies at all. I can't watch them. Just don't even ask me about scary movies because it's not happening. But yeah, that's definitely something that I cannot watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is All-American Rashid Shaheed, Weber State Wildcats. Thank you, Rashid, for your time this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. For Rashid Shaheed, I am Craig Forrestall. Until next time.
Hey everybody, Craig Forrestall. Thanks for tuning in and listening to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @that_sports_guy to catch all the latest updates and podcast episodes. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.